Ladies and gentlemen, Honkai Star Rail has done something truly amazing. It has come out with a patch that really blew my mind in so many ways. It has enhanced my experience with the game and made the internet actually agree on something for the first time. But before we get into that, let's talk about Fate Stay at Night Unlimited Blade Works, one of the greatest stories ever told in our modern era. And then combine that with Honkai Star Rail, one of the greatest stories ever told. And we have a beautiful mix of storytelling and a good time. And all the voices were in English. That we had no hiccups with the voice actors. Everything was great. They actually delayed it so they could get all the voices inside the game. Then you run over and you had a whole event you can do where there's a new map, a new game mode you can play. Actually, everything you would get in a new patch like 3.0, it was almost as big as Penacony. And you could just go across the world and participate in your own Holy Grail war with the Honkai Star Rail. If you look at the banner, even the side characters was a Lancer. The 4 stars were Lancer and Rin and even Berserker. And then you had your top people like Art getting Archer for free, and then Saber came through, and it was everything was dope. Everything was dope. No, nothing bad happened. And we don't really have to worry about it. Another W for Honkai Star Rail. We can keep moving on with our lives, and nothing new. And common Honkai Star Rail W. Genshin could never. Wuthering Waves could never. What a bounce back. And just another drop in the bucket for the $1 billion IP. Yeah. Unfortunately, none of that's occurred. We didn't get any of that. What we got instead was a side event. Now, if you enjoy side events, I'm gonna talk to you in a way that you can understand. If you enjoyed this side quest, you're a dumb person. But don't worry, being dumb doesn't make you totally useless to society. You can pick up dirt. You can dig holes. Nothing wrong with digging holes. Even smart people have to dig holes if they hard come on hard times. Like actually listening to half the scams out there. Like you should get a degree in something that you can't actually get a job in an economy where people are just looking for people to do very specific jobs. Like I said, even a smart person can be dumb. So don't worry. Being dumb isn't a permanent thing. No. Having low IQ, that's another thing. But in the moment of time, given enough time, I think a dumb person can come to the correct answer that Honkai Star Rail may have messed up a little, just a tiny bit, guys. Let's start with Archer. Archer being free and giving it out to all the free players is the equivalent of giving someone candy to come with you. It's walking you right into a trap. It's negative. It's a negative spin on a great character. The chant, the actual character's animations, and what it can do, A++. What it implies for the rest of the game, F. Because if we're releasing, giving free characters out like this, that means these store modes are about to be even harder, or these memory of chaoses would be harder, right? No, they either go, the content is super hard, or the content is super easy. Now, a lot of people don't care about power creep like that because, let's face it, the rewards you get for completing these things are minuscule at best. Fair enough. So, we'll just move on. But then, you have Saber. Saber is a little less forgivable. She's a unit that's a little bit more complicated, but it seemed like for the one you have to pull for, she seems like a way more basic version than Archer. It seemed like they were forced to put out this collab. It feel like the business suits over at MiHoYo thought this was a good idea, and the developers did not agree. Yeah, so like Japan is a small country, guys. And China, I mean, they always been having war with each other, like over like back in the old days. So maybe this is just a continuation of it. Maybe it's like some sinister shadow game that we don't know of. Like, yeah, man, we're just gonna totally tell the story part of the fake collab. We're not gonna have none of the English voice actors. You know, the anime is English dub, and some people, believe it or not, you know, a lot of you elitists may not believe this, might think I'm lying for the sake of views and clicks. But let me tell you, this does not get me no clicks. These videos get me no views. I do this because someone has to say this. I would like my patch to be released with the English voice actors or not at all. Please. I would like to be able to hear people in my native tongue doing a story. I know some of you just like the subtitles and can move on with your life, but don't worry. Your retinas will thank me. When you are old in the rocking chair, your retinas will thank this random YouTuber on the internet for saving your retinas from staring at a screen for way too long. And you don't have protective glasses. I mean, you'll be cooked. In my imaginary universe, Honkai Star Rail did a good thing. In the real world, Honkai Star Rail did a very mid thing that lost some of the creators from the community from making their games. Now, I believe in the theory that a lot of these gacha games are just trying to minimize their fan base to a certain point, so their core audience will just agree with everything and anything that they come out with, and they're just trying to identify those players. So they're not going to listen to every little bit of feedback you guys get. Y'all, I would say for you guys to stop giving it, because I'm talking to you guys. I'm not talking to MiHoYo. I don't sit here and pretend to be like, I want MiHoYo to be better. No, I want you guys to be better. I want the fan bases to be better, smarter. So you don't have to fall for the same old trap to become part of the core fan base. You can go find a game that's still searching for their core fan base and then play that for a while until they want to start minimizing things, start taking away things, seeing what they can get away with. Then you change games again. That's what you're supposed to do, because these games will take advantage of you just like casinos in real life. They don't want you counting cards. They don't want people like me popular who's telling you to be healthy and do habits in a healthy way, engage in your habits in a healthy way. They want people who will just mindlessly play their games for no reason. If it's a good game, play it. But if they're out here trying to scam you, and even if they're already free, guys, just because you're not spending money on the game, I mean, someone is. And that someone, the less and less of them who played that game, I know y'all gonna say free-to-play players are important. They are for numbers. But the less of them that play that game, that spend the money, it is one step closer of them closing down the gacha game. Because MiHoYo only looks at one little metric: revenue. So, I might take a trip to the moon one day. Hopefully, it won't be on the Astro Express, sponsored by MiHoYo.